Elon Musk has a new social media target, McDonald's.
Imagine this, a busy day at a local McDonald's filled with first responders enjoying a quick bite. Suddenly, the door swings open, and in walks none other than Elon Musk. What unfolds next is a jaw-dropping moment that caught everyone off guard. Stay tuned to find out what happened.
I love McDonald's with fries.
This particular McDonald's was a cozy spot, nestled on a corner in a quiet town. The restaurant buzzed with the usual crowd of first responders, police officers, firefighters, and paramedics, taking a short break to refuel between shifts. The lunch rush had calmed down, creating a light-hearted atmosphere filled with the sound of trays clattering and soft conversations. Everyone was relaxed, enjoying their meals before heading back to work. Then, just after noon, the door chimed softly as it opened. At first, nobody paid much attention. People came and went all the time. But when the man who entered walked toward the counter, a few heads began to turn. He was tall and casually dressed in a simple t-shirt and jeans. Yet there was something about him that drew everyone's attention. It didn't take long before someone recognized him. "Wait, is that Elon Musk?" one of the EMTs whispered to his partner. At first, his friend laughed, skeptical. Here? No way. What would he be doing in a McDonald's in the middle of nowhere? But as they kept watching, their disbelief faded. That was definitely Elon Musk, the billionaire behind Tesla and SpaceX, known for making electric cars and launching rockets into space.
Do you see them both light up?
As unbelievable as it seemed, he was there, ready to order his meal like any regular person. As he approached the counter, the excitement in the restaurant grew. Some first responders exchanged glances, while others discreetly took out their phones to snap a photo. Despite the rising attention, Musk appeared completely unfazed. He smiled at the cashier and said, "I'll have a quarter pounder with cheese, large fries, and a Coke." The cashier, still in disbelief at being face-to-face with one of the world's most famous entrepreneurs, hesitated for a moment before ringing up his order. "And, can I pay with Dogecoin?" Musk added with a playful grin, clearly enjoying the moment. The cashier blinked, unsure if he was joking, but nervously replied, "Sorry, we only accept credit cards." Musk chuckled and handed over his card, paying for his meal like anyone else. He then stepped aside, waiting for his order as the whole restaurant seemed to hold its breath. After what felt like ages, someone finally mustered the courage to approach him. A firefighter, curiosity getting the better of him, walked up to Musk, trying to sound casual. "So, what brings you to a McDonald's in the middle of nowhere?" he asked, his voice a mix of awe and disbelief. Musk looked up from his phone, smiled, and shrugged. "Well, I've been traveling a lot lately, and sometimes you just want something simple. Plus," he added with a playful grin, "McDonald's makes a pretty good burger." The firefighter grinned back, and just like that, the tension in the room eased. It felt as if Elon Musk, despite his fame and fortune, was just another guy stopping for lunch. As more people started to approach, questions flowed naturally. Another firefighter, a bit bolder, asked, "So, what's next? Another rocket to Mars or something?" Musk laughed lightly, clearly accustomed to such inquiries. "Actually, yeah, we're working hard to make that happen. But today's all about burgers." His relaxed response surprised everyone. It was as if he effortlessly shifted from talking about space travel to fast food in an instant. He didn't act like he was above it all. Instead, he seemed genuinely interested in connecting with the people around him. A paramedic from a nearby table spoke up, his voice filled with admiration. I've got to ask, how do you manage it all? Tesla, SpaceX, Neuralink, and now X. Do you ever get any sleep? Musk chuckled again. I hear that a lot. Yeah, I sleep, just not much. But I think if you're passionate about what you do, you find the energy. Honestly though, I try to keep things simple when I can. Today, I'm just here for the burger. The way he said it so casually made the crowd laugh. By this point, the once quiet McDonald's had turned into an impromptu Q&A session with Musk, who didn't seem bothered by it at all. The police officers, EMTs, and firefighters were no longer hanging back. They were fully engaged, throwing questions at Musk as if they were chatting with an old friend. He answered each one with a calm, almost humble demeanor, sharing jokes and insights along the way. One of the officers, amused by how normal the encounter felt, asked, "Have you ever thought about opening a Tesla drive-thru? We'd save a ton on gas." Musk grinned. "Hey, you never know. We're always exploring new ideas. Electric fast food joints could be the next big thing." Laughter erupted in the restaurant. It was surreal. One moment, these first responders were simply enjoying their lunch, and the next, they were chatting with one of the world's most influential figures as if it were no big deal. But then, as the laughter faded, the atmosphere shifted. The light-hearted banter had created a warm connection between Musk and the first responders. Suddenly, one of the firefighters asked a question that turned the conversation more serious. "Do you ever think about how your work might impact people like us?" he asked, his tone soft yet curious. "I mean, the things you're doing, rockets, electric cars, AI, how do you think that affects what we do out here on the ground?" The room grew quiet. This wasn't just a fan question. It carried real weight. These weren't just fans fascinated by space or cars. They were first responders, people who faced life and death situations every day and relied on technology to do their jobs. Musk paused for a moment, clearly considering the question. He looked around at the faces of the men and women in uniform gathered around him. They were no longer just curious onlookers. They were part of a conversation that went deeper than anyone had expected. "You know," he began slowly, his voice reflective, "I don't think I really thought about it that way until now." A brief silence fell over the room, the weight of his words settling in. "I've always been focused on the future, on building things that push us forward as a society, space travel, sustainable energy, AI. But seeing all of you here reminds me that the future isn't just about technology. It's about people. It's about ensuring that what we create helps those who work the hardest to protect us." His gaze shifted, scanning the room again, this time lingering on each person, as if he were truly seeing them for the first time. "I've always believed technology can improve lives," he continued, "but seeing you all here makes me realize that no matter how advanced things get, it's people like you who are on the front lines, keeping the rest of us safe." A firefighter, clearly moved by Musk's sincerity, nodded, his voice shaky with emotion. "We just do our jobs, but sometimes you wonder if what you're doing really matters in the long run. I mean, we don't build rockets or change the world like you do." Musk shook his head, his expression serious. "No, you're wrong about that. You're out there saving lives, putting yourselves in danger every day. What I do wouldn't matter at all if people like you weren't here to keep us safe. What you do is just as important, if not more." His words struck deep. The first responders in the room felt the impact. They were used to being thanked in passing, receiving polite nods of gratitude. But this was different. Musk wasn't just thanking them. He was telling them they were essential to the future he envisioned. Then, unexpectedly, Musk reached into his pocket and pulled out his phone. He looked at it for a moment, weighing his decision before looking back at the group. "You know, there's something I can do," he said, his voice quieter now, but filled with determination. "I don't want this to just be another moment where I say thanks and move on. I want to do something that makes a real difference." He walked out of that McDonald's, but instead of just getting into his car and driving away, he started typing quickly on his phone. For a few moments, no one knew what was happening. The store fell silent, with everyone watching him, waiting. Elon Musk's surprise visit to the McDonald's full of first responders was just the beginning. After chatting with them for a while, something truly unexpected happened. "All right," he said, tucking his phone back into his pocket. "It's done. I just made a donation. You might think it's just a gesture, but this donation will cover brand new equipment for all the fire stations and police departments, not just in this small town, but in the entire area. Whatever you need, consider it my way of saying thank you for everything you do," Musk added. The room went silent. For a moment, no one spoke, as if they couldn't quite grasp what had just occurred. Then slowly, disbelief gave way to a wave of emotion. Some of the first responders exchanged shocked glances, while others quietly wiped away tears. What Musk had done was more than just a generous act. It was a heartfelt acknowledgement of their hard work, sacrifices, and the dangers they faced every day. Most importantly, thanks to him, they could now go to work knowing they would make it home to their loved ones. One of the paramedics, clearly overwhelmed, finally broke the silence. "You didn't have to do that," she said, her voice filled with emotion. Musk smiled, his tone gentle yet firm. "No, I didn't. But I wanted to. Because what you do matters. And if I can help, even in a small way, I want to." For a moment, the room fell quiet again. But this time, it was filled with something deeper than awe or curiosity. It was a shared understanding, a connection between the man who was building the future and the people who were working hard to keep the present safe. As emotions settled, it became clear this wasn't just another celebrity encounter. What had started as an unexpected lunch visit had transformed into something far more meaningful. Musk had connected with these first responders on a personal level, showing that despite his world of billion-dollar companies, rockets, and electric cars, he truly understood the importance of their work. One by one, the first responders approached Musk, not for selfies or autographs, but to shake his hand and express their gratitude, not just for the donation, but for recognizing their role in society. "Honestly," Musk said as he prepared to leave, "I came here for a burger, but I'm leaving with a lot more. You've given me a lot to think about." As he walked toward the door, the first responders watched him go, still processing the moment. In that brief instance, they weren't focused on his wealth or fame. They were thinking about how he had listened to them, understood them, and shown them that their work mattered, even to someone as far removed from their daily lives as Elon Musk. The group of first responders expressed their thanks the only way they could, with a loud round of applause. As the door closed behind him, one of the police officers turned to his colleagues and smiled, shaking his head in disbelief. "Well," he said with a chuckle, "that's not something you see every day." With that, the room gradually returned to its usual buzz of conversation, though the mood remained charged with the energy of what had just happened. It wasn't just that Elon Musk had walked into their McDonald's. It was the fact that he had left a lasting impact, giving these first responders the strength and courage to continue doing what they do best, keeping people safe. Please leave your thoughts in the comments section below. And don't forget to like, share, and subscribe.